Hello and welcome to Find Your Inner Sparkle. I haven't actually posted anything on my channel for a month, and I realised that I need to address that. So I'm hopping in live, and I do hope to be able to bring you a new video each week on a Monday in here in this YouTube space. I do normally share content on Facebook and in my Facebook group community, Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele. So if you're not already in there, then get yourself over there. I am a yoga teacher and a spiritual coach, and I love to help people with their health and their happiness. And I use a toolbox of 50 different tools to do that. So those tools help me tremendously. They are things that I've just collected over the years and constantly use and practice. And so my hope is that they're going to help you guys too. So in here, I'm going to be sharing one tool each week. We are actually just over halfway through the year, so I have been sharing one tool every week over in that Facebook community, but I'm hoping to do that in here as well. So hopefully, if I can get my act together, I'll be here every Monday. Not sure what time just yet. We'll play that one by ear. But if you enjoy this video and the tips and the tools that I share with you, then I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. That helps me to see that you're enjoying my content, and it means that you'll get notified, if you hit the notifications bell as well of when I do go live so that you can hop on. So this week's tool is Find Your Inner Sparkle tool number 27, and it's all about decluttering. Now, decluttering helps with your energy. It helps raise your energetic vibration because it just gets rid of that heaviness, that stagnant energy of things that are just building up. You can feel the kind of energy of things when you've got piles of stuff everywhere around your home. Also, it helps you to just clear your mind a little bit. So decluttering can be about your physical space, your physical environment. And I would recommend, if you are, practicing something like yoga and meditation, that you check out the space that you're practicing in. It is actually one of the 8 limbs of yoga, which are the yamas and the niyamas. Before we even get to the physical postures, these are kind of rules, or if you don't like rules, they're like codes of conduct or ways that which you can get towards that health and happiness and hopefully reach enlightenment someday. If you follow these, I don't like calling them rules, but they're like things that you can follow, like a blueprint. Let's call it a blueprint. It's a path. It's the yoga path. So if you follow these things, and cleanliness is one of them. So keeping the space that you practice nice and clean and tidy is obviously going to lead to better mental health, right? If you're living in a place that's just full of junk, it's not going to help your mental health. So I've got some tips. I'm going to share with you 5 tips today to help you along the way. And also think about this a bit wider. So it might not be just your physical space that you want to think about decluttering, but it might be things like your electronic gadgets. So are you following like loads of people and their content? It brings up a little bit of, it brings up some feelings. It triggers you. You don't really like it, but yet you keep following it, or you're typing in comments that are like not very nice and mean, and that's not making you feel very good. Just unfollow. If you don't like the content, just unfollow the people. Unsubscribe to the channels. You can easily do that. So it's a really good way of you clearing out that energetic electronic space. And also think about the people that you hang out with. Are the people that you hang out with, are the people in your friendship circle and your family, are they bringing you joy? Are they, when you spent time with them and you've been on the phone with them or you've met up with them, are you coming away feeling more full and more energetic and more vibrant? Or are they draining your energy? Are they making you like angry or triggered, and you just feel like rubbish after you've had that interaction? If that's the case, you might need to work on some of my other tools, which are things like boundaries and being able to communicate through your throat chakra, opening your throat chakra to be, brave enough, but to communicate in a way that is non-harmful. So all of these tools come together and they all kind of overlap, and they're really useful together. to provide a really nice way to live your best life, to be happy and healthy and at peace. So if you are going to be communicating those boundaries, there's ways to do that. So if you're like, oh, I hate you, I don't want to see you anymore, that's not a very non-harmful way to communicate. So again, going back to the yamas and the niyamas, one of them is love and non-harming. So it means we don't want to harm ourselves, but it also means we don't want to harm other creatures, humans, other animals. It just means that we want to be kind and loving at all times, which is not possible for most of us mere mortals, but we do our best. Okay, so this is a practice. The yoga spiritual journey is a practice. It's not something that you're going to achieve overnight. It can possibly take years, many, many years, and even more than one lifetime. But if you're on the path, you are on the path and you are working towards that ultimate goal of constant stream of peace and never being triggered by anything ever again, because you found your center. So decluttering is just one of these tools. So this week, I want you to have a little go. So tip number 1 is don't get overwhelmed. Choose something small. Now that might be one room that you go, do you know what? I'm going to start on this one room and I'm going to declutter everything in this room so it feels amazing. So that could be the space that you choose to practice your yoga practice. It could be that you want to start even smaller. It could be that you start with one cupboard, or it could be even one drawer. So think about your kitchen. If you're opening that drawer and it's like the cutlery drawer and it's not been cleaned out for years and it's got all the crumbs in it and everything, you're picking out knives and forks, but some of them are like, oh, they're a bit rusty, and then you have to dig to find a good one. So just think about that. Maybe you tidy out that one drawer this week and that's your goal. And then you feel that kind of lovely hit, that buzz of serotonin, dopamine once you do that job and you're like, yes, I've done it. And then you can move on to the next one. So don't get overwhelmed. Do one thing or choose one room, or choose to tidy out your handbag or even your purse. So it's a really good idea to keep your purse or your wallet clutter free. Why? Because if you're wanting to invite more abundance into your life, if your purse or your wallet is like, oh, it's not got any money in it, or the money's all screwed up, you're going to get into that scarcity and lack mentality. Whereas if you open your purse and it's not got just tons of paper and crap and receipts, you open it and it's just nice and clean and all your cards are all in order, and your notes, I would recommend putting some nice brand new crispy notes in there, the highest value that you can afford to have in there. So it might be a £10 or a £20 note. Try not to go with the fivers, because again, you want to invite that abundant energy. So it might be that you declutter something like your purse, your wallet, your handbag, your car. What is the state of your car at the minute? When you get into your car, no matter what kind of car it is it nice and clean and tidy, or is there litter everywhere and crumbs, and it doesn't make you feel very nice when you get in it to go somewhere? So tip number 2 is being able to let go. Now, this is one that I struggle with. So if you struggle with this too, let me know in the comments. But the spiritual path, the yoga path, teaches us about non-attachment. And this is the work of one of the spiritual texts called the Bhagavad Gita. And it's non-attachment to results. So it's non-clinging. So we do the work and then we let go of the results. So this can be, if you're decluttering, it can be hard, because you can be like, oh, this thing, well, I really like this thing, or I used it 20 years ago, and what if I want to use it again? Or if you're doing your clothes, what if I want to wear it again? And it's right, there are tips you can do to help you with that. If you've not worn it in the last 12 months, that's a good rule of thumb, that you don't really like it. You're aiming to fit in it again at some point, but you're just making yourself feel rubbish every time you try and pull on that pair of jeans and it's like, oh, they don't fit and I don't feel nice. Just take them out of the wardrobe and, create space for maybe new things that does bring you joy. If you think about the decluttering queen, Marie Kondo, is she called? The Japanese art of decluttering, where we chuck everything on the bed, and then if this item brings you joy, if you love how it feels on your skin, or you love the color, really brings out your skin tone, things like that, keep it. If it doesn't fit and it makes you feel rubbish, get rid of it. What is the point in keeping hold of stuff that we don't like. And if it makes you feel bad because it's wasteful, there are things you can do. So you can sell them, to someone else, can get that joy because they might really love that item of clothing. You can, take them to charity shops where they can resell them for you and repurpose them. So there's lots of different apps now, and eBay and Gumtree and all the rest of it. You can even do the free, like the buy, swap and sell sites. There are those local ones that mean that you can give it away for free. And you can even see somebody's joy when they pick up the stuff that you no longer want and they absolutely love it, or they want it for their child. I've done that quite a few times where they come to the door and they pick it up and they're like, oh, my grandchild's going to absolutely love this. So you get that joy from passing it on rather than just chucking it in the bin. So tip number 3 is to do it regularly. So do it regularly. If you do this, if you tidy your wardrobe up once and then you don't touch it again for 10 years, it's going to be a massive job when you come around to doing it again. Whereas if you keep on top of it and you do it like once a year, maybe you rotate around your house and do one room every month or something like that, then it's going to be much, much easier. So the next time you come to declutter that cupboard or that bookcase or that room or the handbag or the car, you only did it a few months ago. So it's just keeping on top of it rather than it being like, all the overwhelm. Okay, tip number 4 is if you declutter, it helps you to find things more easily. So if you've got a gazillion books, like I love books, so I find this one tricky. If you're reaching for that book that, you really want to grab for the quotation that you love, or you want to reread it, or you just love the cover and the way that it looks and feels, you can't find it if it's just buried in amongst a trillion other books. So decluttering, like again with the cutlery drawer, it's gonna, when you go in there and all the cutlery is nice and shiny and you don't have to dig for the one that you like the best, it's going to make your life so much easier. And this is going to save you time. Think of all the time you're going to save when you declutter. So tip number 5 is it's really more spiritual than you might think. So as a spiritual coach, this is one of my tools because we need to learn how to let go. We need to learn also about having just what we need and not more than what we need. So again, if I need to do this with my wardrobe because I did it probably a year ago, where I did a really good declutter and I arranged all my wardrobe into color order. So I put everything in little sections, like the black section and the white and the pink and the green, and it helped me to find things more easily. But since COVID and since lockdown and everything, and I changed my job, so I'm no longer working in a corporate office job where I needed high heels and dressier clothes and things like that. Now I'm a yoga teacher and a mindset spiritual coach. I pretty much live in joggers and leggings and hoodies and t-shirts and things. So I probably need to have another look through, because I've probably got way more shoes and handbags and things than I actually really need. So again, it's just sorting through, choosing the things that you really want, and letting go of those that you don't want, because having more than we need goes against the spiritual code or the blueprint that I was talking about earlier, the 8 limbs of reaching peace, joy, and enlightenment, because we're just bogged down with material possessions that we don't need. And it's like, it goes along with greed. We just don't need this much stuff. It's not good for us. So if you can, I think there's like a movie on it called The Minimalist or something. Let me know in the comments if you've seen that movie, and if you're going to give this a go, let me know in the comments what it is that you're going to declutter. What are you going to commit to decluttering this week? I would love to hear from you. So, and if you want me to come in every Monday and share one of my top 50 tools, then let me know in the comments if you would like me to share more content with you like this, and I will do. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on the replay, drop me a comment in the comments box, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you're interested in living a happier, healthier life. Thank you so much. Bye for now.